In April 2024, a hacker calling himself US DoD posted something on the dark web. A price tag, $3.5 million. The product, 2.9 billion records. Names, social security numbers, every address you have ever lived at, even the names of your relatives. That is not 2.9 billion accounts. That is close to the entire population of Earth outside China and India combined. And the company that leaked it? You have never heard of it. National Public Data. It never asked your permission to collect your information. It never had to. Somewhere right now, a stranger can type your name into a website and find out where you sleep. You did not lose control of your personal data in one dramatic hack. You gave it away, one click at a time, for over 20 years. Every loyalty card, every I agree you never read, every photo tagged with a location. And somewhere out there, an industry worth over $300 billion has been quietly stitching those fragments into a file on you. Not a rough sketch, a full profile. Up to 1,500 data points on the average American adult, according to industry researchers. Your income, your health conditions, your politics, even whether you are likely pregnant. This is not paranoia. This is public record, corporate policy, and, in more than one case, a matter of life and death. By the end of this video, you will know exactly who is selling your life story, what it has cost real people, and whether you can actually get any of it back. Here's a number that should stop you cold. Over 4,000. That's roughly how many data broker companies operate inside the United States right now. Most Americans could name one, maybe two. Equifax, Experian. The rest work in near total silence. Some are giants almost beyond comprehension. Axiom holds detailed files on around 500 million people, with roughly 10,000 attributes each. Oracle's advertising arm reportedly processes something like 5 trillion location and behavior signals every single day. Here's how it actually reaches you. You fill out a warranty card. That store sells the data to a broker. The broker cross-references it with your voter registration, public record. Your mortgage filing, also public. Your phone's advertising ID, quietly pinging your location through an app you forgot you installed. None of this required your signature. And the markup is staggering. Brokers reportedly acquire a single data record for less than 1/10 of a cent and resell it for 50 cents or more. Repeated across billions of records, that's an entire industry. Only about 1 in 5 Americans even knows this business exists. The other 4 are walking around with a complete stranger holding a file on their marriage, their medications, their mortgage, and no idea it's there. So who actually buys it? The answer is where this stops being uncomfortable and starts being dangerous. In October 1999, a young woman named Amy Boyer was murdered outside her workplace in New Hampshire. Her killer had spent months obsessing over her. He couldn't find her home address, so he paid an online information broker about $45. The broker lied to Amy to get her employment address directly from her, then handed it straight to him. 1 month later, he was waiting for her outside her office. That happened over 25 years ago. You'd think the industry would have changed. It hasn't. Security researchers reported in 2025 that the exact same pattern still plays out today, with someone posing as a legitimate inquirer, and a people search site handing over a home or work address with almost no verification at all. It isn't only individual stalkers either. After the assassination of Minnesota lawmaker Melissa Hortman in 2025, journalists pointed to something chilling. Home addresses of public officials often just sit there, openly, on campaign sites, government pages, and the same people search sites anyone can access for a few dollars. Here's a stat worth sitting with. Roughly 1 in 3 American women and 1 in 6 men will experience stalking at some point in their lives. Investigators say public records and people search sites are among the most common tools stalkers use to find them. The information isn't hidden in a vault somewhere. It's for sale, right now, for less than the price of a large pizza. But money, not violence, is where this industry does its most common damage. And in 2025, one case showed just how far that reach goes, all the way into your own genetic code. In March 2025, 23andMe, the company that convinced over 15 million Americans to spit into a tube and mail it away, filed for bankruptcy. Under U.S. bankruptcy law, customer data counts as a company asset, same category as office furniture, same category as server racks. Your DNA, the one piece of information you can never ever change, became a line item to be auctioned to the highest bidder. Congress held a hearing over it. One lawmaker asked directly whether a hostile foreign government could acquire the genetic data of millions of Americans for bioweapons research. The company's answer was that they are committed to preventing that. Not a guarantee, a commitment. The winning bid came from a brand new nonprofit called TTAM Research Institute, founded and run by 23andMe's own former CEO. $305 million, and the data essentially returned to the person who built the company in the first place. Privacy advocates called it a shell game. State attorneys general scrambled to warn millions of Americans to delete their accounts before the sale closed. Security experts made one point nobody can argue with. If your password leaks, you change it. If your address leaks, you can move. If your DNA leaks, there is no reset button. Ever. There is one more form of tracking, though, something even more precise than your genetics. Something that follows you in real time every single day. In 2025, the FTC took action against a company called Gravy Analytics and its subsidiary, Ventel. Their business? Harvesting precise location data from ordinary smartphone apps, weather apps, games, and utility trackers, and selling it, sometimes to government agencies, sometimes on the open advertising market. It's what that data could reveal that's disturbing. According to the FTC's complaint, it could identify visits to a place of religious worship, a domestic violence shelter, a medical clinic, a political rally, even patterns that could reveal a person's LGBTQ+ status. Your phone, sitting in your pocket, pinging its location every few minutes through some app you downloaded for the weather, repackaged and sold to expose the most private parts of your life. Gravy wasn't an isolated case. It was the fourth time in recent years the FTC has taken this exact kind of action against a location data broker. And here's the part that stings. None of this was clearly illegal at the time. There is still no federal law against it. As of 2026, the United States has no comprehensive federal privacy law. None. Your protection depends entirely on which state you happen to live in. So can you actually undo any of this? The answer is more revealing than you'd expect. Here is the number that sums up this entire industry: 3%. That is roughly the share of people who successfully remove their data from broker sites and have it stay gone, according to 2024 tracking. Not 3% who tried, 3% who succeeded. Why so low? Because opting out of one broker does not touch the other. 4,000. Because deleted records can silently reappear years later, re-scraped from the same public sources that built them in the first place. Because for every site you clear, brokers just buy fresh data from each other overnight. California tried to fix this. In 2026, it launched a single portal where residents can request removal from every registered broker in the state at once, the most aggressive step any U.S. state has taken. But underneath it, one thing stays true. Even a perfect law can only delete what has already been collected. Tomorrow, you will generate new data, and somewhere, a broker is already waiting to buy it. You are not being protected here. You are being managed, one opt-out request at a time, forever. So no, you probably cannot disappear from the internet completely, but you are not as powerless as this industry wants you to believe either. Freeze your credit. Opt out of the biggest brokers first: Axiom, Epsilon, LexisNexis, since smaller sites usually just resell their data anyway. Check your state's privacy laws. If you're in California, Vermont, or Oregon, you already have real legal leverage. Turn off location sharing on apps that don't need it, and think twice before your next DNA kit, your next free personality quiz, your next loyalty card. Because somewhere, right now, a database is being updated with your name in it. The only real question left is how much more of yourself you're willing to hand over. If you want to see how far this surveillance economy actually reaches, the next video is waiting.